Guys, so in this program what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check if my year. Okay, so first I'm gonna have to give credit to W3 resource that I've seen this code from here, so I think it's good to mention this code, that you go and visit their website. They have a lot of good, and they've also explained this algorithm public static void main, that if you want to check leap year program modded by 400, then check that console.write line is a leap year, and if it turns out the condition is false, so it's gonna check in the lure subsidiary. So what it's gonna checking is it's gonna if a year is leap year or not, it's gonna check. Mod means that if the remainder is 0, if the remainder comes in 0 and it's perfectly divisible, then your leap year would be 0. See, here's the condition right here. If check year per mod 400 and the remainder comes in as 0, so that specific year is a leap year. Else if that specific year is if you divide that year which I've input modded by 100, then what it's gonna do, and if the answer comes 0, then that specific year is leap year. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this code, come to Visual Studio, and what I'm doing right here is I'm checking this thing, and year check whether this year is or not. Then I'm gonna run this program. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is input my year is 20. Okay, hold on, input in year. Let's hit 2018. 2018 is not a leap year. Okay, and when I'm gonna hit Control F5 and check 2020 is indeed a leap year. Okay, so what this program does, it declares a variable. We declare a variable, we write 2 lines of spaces, and then we check whether the given year is leap year or not. Console.write given space, and then this specific variable is to be converted into 2 int 32. You can also do it like 2 int 64 can also be used. It's just it's just how much amount of memory it's taking. So if you do like this dot 2 int 64, then the thing is that you can also use those methods too. So I'm gonna stick to 2 int 32. Okay, hit Control Z to that, and this line is gonna take my input, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply conditional statements to the value that I've taken. If check year mod divided by 400 and the result comes out as 0, so console.write line is a leap year. Else if this thing comes in that if you mod it by 100 and the answer is 0, then that specific year is not a leap year. Okay, if you mod it by 100 and the answer is 0, then that specific year is not a leap year. You can perform your calculations in Notepad. See, the best thing is that you keep a paper and pencil and you do the calculations by yourselves. Okay, and you divide it by 4, then that specific year is a leap year. Else console.write line is not a leap year. So let's just understand that algorithm that they have shown on their website. Okay, so personally speaking, I do not understood that algorithm quite well, but I will later on make a video on this by completely explaining this algorithm. But let's try to understand public static void main. This is our code. If in check you're modded by 400. Okay, so if the value comes in as true, what we do is we type that specific year is a leap year, and if the value comes as false, it's gonna further divide that value by 100, and if the answer comes in as 0, so that specific year is not a leap year if that value gets divided by 0. I don't know the actual terminology behind this, but I'm assuming that the 400, the 100 that they've multiplied, that modded by the leap year value. So probably their exceptional handling is also done in this code. And if this thing hits no, so check year percent for is equals to 0. Okay, so the final answer is, if this condition also fails, then it's gonna check year modded by 4, and if the answer comes in as 0, then yes, that specific year is a leap year, and if the answer is false, so our final condition would be is not a year. Anyway, this is the algorithm. I personally quite do not understood that algorithm quite well, but I searched from the internet and I found this code quite useful. So I'll give a citation that you go visit W3 Research. They're a good website, and check out their code. Even all those further tasks, your lab tasks can be solved by this website. Leap year checking program, checking the if temperature conversion programs. They have all sorts of conditional statement programs. So quite useful website, I found out. So anyways guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. You just play with this code and see you in the next video, and then we're gonna build something else.